Hello, hello. Welcome to RamGoatAstrology. I'm Laura Lee.
And I am Helena. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Thanks for joining us. We are back with the March forecast.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a couple other astrologers on TikTok and stuff, and they've been putting out some March little graphics and stuff, right? And some of the graphics have been quite dramatic in flavor and gave me a little bit of extra like, okay, yep, this is gonna be a busy March this year. So
Yeah.
I know I haven't gone through
I
all
mean,
the transits, but I can feel it.
yeah, I think that most of you listening you're probably following one or two astrologers on some kind of social media. And I've heard that 2025, it is going to be intense. And we noticed that in January, like we started off with so many transits in January. February has been a little bit slower, but I feel like 1 week into February, everyone was talking about March already. It's like, March is coming, March is coming. And yeah, there's a lot of transits, there's a lot of activity. But I think that, I guess like with astrology, at least my view of astrology is that whenever a transit is coming, it's because it's time for that one now. So it's like I'm not, there's no need to feel worried or scared. I mean, you can be aware, but not like worried and scared because this is just what we have to go through right now. Like this is what's on the agenda for us to work with
Exactly.
these energies. Yeah.
And to work with the highest vibration of them that we can at the time with the skills and resources that we have. Right? I
Yeah.
taught a class on Sunday, and it was kind of like a basic astrology 101, and I was explaining like everything has a light side and a dark side. Everything has a positive and a negative. That's the nature of the universe we live in. And the same thing with the signs. Same thing with the transits. There's a healthy vibration that we can like lean into and work towards, and then there's that more challenging shadow vibration that is mm, typically doesn't end well for most of us in some way, shape, or form. But if that's what we end up playing out is that lower vibration, clearly there's something we got to learn from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everything happens for us. It doesn't happen to us or to punish us. It happens for our learning, our growth, our expansion, even when it sucks,
Mm.
even when it's painful. Yeah, it's been interesting over here with the transits, just in general with the US and all of the government stuff and all of the upheaval with, when you start off February, it's Aquarius season, of course. So everything's going to be electrified and moving quickly and dramatically, intense. I feel like Aquarius is quite dramatic, quite intense, and it moves quickly, and that shocks people. That's what's been happening. And then when we shifted into Pisces season in the later half of February here, the wishy-washy flow and nebulous confusion is definitely setting in. Everybody's real confused as to what's happening. Who do we listen to? Do we listen to this person? Are we fired? Are we not fired? What's going on? Nope. It's very, very Piscean energy. So we're
Mm.
in it over here. And I know like the whole world is feeling it. This isn't just Americans. It's really interesting to
Mm.
watch it play out kind of all over.
Yeah, I mean, we're so connected nowadays,
Yeah.
not only like vibration, but because we see everything, we don't see everything, but we see so much more of what's happening
Yeah.
across the world in other countries than the one you're living in, and that makes you tap into that energy a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's so funny. As soon as Pisces season came, I just started hearing everyone saying, "Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm so sleepy. I just want to sleep." And I'm like, "Of course you do. It's Pisces season. I love Pisces season."
I do too. It's at the top of
Yeah.
my chart and it's where my Mercury is. So Pisces season
Mm.
for me is like, whoa, now let the creation flow. It's
Yeah.
very like time to get to work, time to produce stuff for the spring season, right? Like pull it from the ethers and bring it into this Aries action time. Oh, I love Pisces, but I do know a lot of people go into the sleepy mode.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I definitely don't see it as an active time. I see it definitely as, it's slumber time before Aries wakes and shakes everything around. Like I always think of Pisces as like a sleeping little seed
Mm-hmm.
in the ground that is yet to start sprouting, something that is just collecting energy from the dirt, collecting nutrients
Yeah.
from the water, and just sort of like in this dream world, like this sort of in-between world where things, are there, but they are very um
They're still elusive.
abstract.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still in the dreamlike state. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how different people's charts, because of the time you were born and where Pisces is located, you're going to feel the energy different, right? For me, it does light me up, and I do not get sleepy during this time. I love it. It really is an area of life where I'm ready to go. Now, Taurus season, which is in my 12th house, yes, I'm happy to just kind of wait for spring to emerge and just take my time in Taurus and be in. So that's my sleepy time, is when everyone else
Mm.
is out in the garden. It's really interesting how everybody's charts are just different and the dynamic affects you differently. But what are we gonna do for
Yeah.
March here, Helena? We got some things happening. What do we start off with?
Yeah. So we have something on March 1st, and that is a Venus retrograde. Venus is stopping and starting to move backwards. Not really moving backwards, but you know what a retrograde is
Right.
by now, I would think. I would think. Otherwise, go back and study our other episodes.
Right.
Um, So Venus is slowing down and starting to move backwards. And this means that everything that you value, your values, how you see yourself also is gonna start, you're gonna start questioning things.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also that typical time when things of the past just pop up. Could be like an old relationship that someone gets in touch with you. Could be maybe an old job or like an old friend that
Mm-hmm.
comes out of nowhere. Like things from the past just pop up, like old relationships or
And
maybe other things that you valued.
and old relationship issues. So if you have relationship pain, or maybe there was infidelity or something like that, or loss, that could bubble up. And you might think, what the heck? I dealt with this. I grieved. I moved on, or we healed. And nope, there's still some more to do. There's always more work to do. So this is actually, I think, because Venus represents both values and relationships and money. And I think these are core human things that we struggle with the most. And when we're not in a healthy place, when it goes retrograde, that's a great opportunity for us, especially in Aries, to go do some therapy, whether that's regular talk therapy, whether that's hypnosis, whether that's, scheduling with your astrologers here, or whatever it looks like for you, doing some type of therapy for working on yourself. Aries is me, my needs. I need to do this for myself. And that
Yeah.
retrograde, I feel like, is a great time for you to work on readjusting your values and shifting all of these kind of inner things, right? Rearranging inside of yourself, kind of like cleaning your house, rearranging your shelves and everything. So,
Rearranging.
yeah,
Like, yeah, like cleaning out your closet. Like, what do I need in here? What do I value? What's good to have? Maybe I should sell some things. But yeah, like with any other retrograde, this is a time that can be a little bit confusing. So going to a therapist or seeing, doing something like that for yourself is really good advice because things might not be so clear when the planet is moving backwards.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
you need some help maybe to
And honestly, the most I
figure things
see
out.
when I do readings for people, I see so many patterns of people having healthy boundary issues with not setting healthy boundaries, not valuing their own time enough, giving and giving and giving from an empty bucket, getting resentful and crabby because they have given too much and they don't have enough time for themselves and they never have enough time for their needs. And like that is the pattern I see hands down the most throughout any readings that I
Mm,
do. And I feel like this is the energy to use to adjust that, right? Make it a point that if people ask you to do something or ask you to get involved in something, do not answer right away. Practice a phrase like, thank you for asking me. Let me get back to you on that. Do not answer a yes. Do not answer a no. Just tell them, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I will get back to you.
Yeah.
And then feel it out. Is it something that will drain you? Is it something that will fill you? Is it something that's no skin off your back? Or is it something that's really going to take a lot of your effort and deplete you? Right? Evaluate and then answer accordingly. But this is a great time to practice those healthy boundaries.
Yeah, and I think like that is a really hard one for myself with all the Capricorn, especially the Capricorn moon.
Because you love being of
Just
service. You love
yes, and
it.
I feel like I need to because I take this responsibility, but I do not. And so it's like even just saying if someone asks me something and saying, "Let me get back to you," my that is like work enough almost for me to practice just saying that and maybe saying maybe I'll say yes after, but just saying let me get back to you is such a good boundary
Yeah.
to practice.
Thank you for thinking of me.
Mm,
Yeah. Let me get back to you. Thank you for thinking of me. You didn't say
yeah.
no. You didn't say yes. You gave yourself space to breathe and feel the answer, which is Capricorn moons need space to feel. So
Hmm.
that's a great thing for all of us to practice during this whole Venus retrograde, which starts off the month of March. So if you haven't scheduled an appointment with your therapist or your hypnosis or your astrologer or whoever, March 1st, March 2nd, March 3rd, one of those days, great time to schedule and get that going on the calendar. All right.
Yeah.
March 2nd. What's next?
March 2nd.
Yeah.
So today, or not today, but on March 2nd, we have two transits. One of them is a Mercury one. We won't get too deep into that. It's just a Mercury is in Pisces and will be conjunct to Neptune in Pisces. That just pretty much is like, uh, your mind
Flowy
being
art,
flowy
imaginative,
art, yeah, and
dreamy.
not so good at maybe going forward,
No.
being a little bit confused. And the same day we have Sun in Pisces square to Jupiter in Gemini. So this could be a bit of a tricky day
It
with
could,
these two conjunctions
for
together.
sure.
Oh, yeah, with these two transits together. Mm.
Yeah, because Sun in Pisces and is, that identity with and the willpower and vitality of Pisces, which is dreamy, foggy, elusive, hard to grasp. And then Jupiter is ridiculously optimistic, wants to move forward, wants to learn, grow,
Super outgoing.
yep, keep growing and expanding. And Gemini is friends and people and knowledge and talking and action. So these two could feel a little bit. I feel like we had this a couple weeks ago with a couple days ago with Mercury and Jupiter square. My brain thought I could do something. We could have all this fun with the family, and then we tried to take action on it, and like it just didn't work at all. It was like a total crash and burn. I feel like that's what this energy is. It's like you think you're going to be able to do it, but it's probably
Yeah,
not going to end up working out like you had planned. Like it just
yeah, for
something's
sure. Yeah,
not connecting.
right. Like Jupiter in Gemini is like, yeah, we can do that and 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 that. And Sun in Pisces is just like, oh,
No.
all right, whatever you say. And then with that square, it creates a lot of tension. So here is a great day to practice those boundaries.
Heck yeah. Heck yes. Especially with Mercury conjunct Neptune. This is your mind
Yeah,
being basically lost in the clouds. Your
yeah,
thinking is delusional. It really is. This is a very delusional thinking day. Your brain is not going to be
yeah.
working effectively on March 2nd. This is very like be in the feels, be in the intuition. Don't try and plan like a construction project this day. Don't no. This is not like physical tangible build something kind of day. This is very like maybe draw it out and sketch it out and color it and but don't
Mm.
like go out and start cutting wood and building stuff this day. This is not where your brain's going to be working well.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And because the sun is, also vitality, I think that you should also consider just taking care of your physical body, like not like Jupiter and Gemini will want you to be in every place at the same time.
Yep.
But with Sun in Pisces, that might be a strain on your body.
Yeah.
So I don't think your body doesn't want to do all of those things
No.
that Jupiter and Gemini will want to. So maybe even it's you'll have lots of FOMO, but that's all right. That's a
Yeah.
boundary for yourself,
Yes,
you
absolutely.
know?
This would be a great day for like a coffee shop date with your friend, right? Just sitting and hanging out, chatting one on one, just being like in the flow of life, right? Maybe we go to the
Mm,
thrift store. It's very flowy and not a lot of like required energy.
yes,
Yeah. So that's a Sunday.
true that.
So enjoy your Sunday to just chill. That's a chill Sunday. And then March 3rd, we have Mercury moving into Aries. So things can get heated. And then with Venus going retrograde in Aries, things can also get heated with relationships. So March 1st, 2nd, 3rd, just start really, really being super mindful of your words and your communication, and maybe take a breath before opening your mouth. This is me talking to me here.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Aries moves fast. Mercury moving into Aries is gonna be like, turning up the
Yeah.
speed dial on your thinking, on your talking, like the way like the space between your brain and your mouth is gonna become so short short.
For
You
real
know?
though, for real.
Yeah,
Yeah, and everybody with toddlers or teenagers, just be aware. This is where the snarkiness comes out. This is where the snarky little attitudes come out, and they like
mm,
I'm ready for it.
yeah.
I
It's
just
also fun.
it can be fun. Yeah.
Aries is fun, yeah.
Yeah. And it can be a little sassy too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So then we have what, March 7th?
Yes.
The
Sun in Pisces is making a trine to Mars in Cancer. Mm.
And Mars is
Oh
now
my God, we
moving.
both went.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mars is now moving direct, thank goodness.
Yes,
Had a couple
I
months
feel
of some
that.
retrograde energy, and now he finally has gotten his car out of the shop. It's now all fixed. The mechanic fixed it, and we're
Shining
ready, all shiny new, ready to go. So you got your oil change, your tires are good, and you can move forward in a healthy way because you took care of yourself while it was going retrograde in Cancer, right? Everybody took good care of themselves.
for sure, definitely. Yes. I felt that like the day after, or yeah, the morning after Mars went direct, I
Oh,
woke up
yeah.
ready to respond to all of those texts that I have been
Yes.
avoiding for weeks. Like
Yes.
I literally got up like early in the morning and went boop, 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 next, do, 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 next on my
Yep.
phone.
I felt like let's get shit done. Like it really
Yeah,
felt like I got my mojo back. It was so
yeah,
nice. I was waiting and
Whew.
waiting for it. So
Yeah,
with Pisces Sun trying to Mars and Cancer, it's a lovely conversation. So our vitality, willpower, life source, life force energy with the Sun is having a beautiful conversation with our planet of Go, which now has just come out of the shop and is moving lovely. So this is a
yeah.
great day now to start the projects. Not March 2nd, March 7th, we start the
Yes.
projects.
That's right. And so this is two fire planets in two water signs. So the fire planets is everything that Laura said, like all of this, energy, vitality, this go juice. And then how it's going to happen or what is happening through is water sign energy. So it will be like you'll have all of this energy to do things about your home,
Yeah.
about arty stuff, about connecting, like, with the Pisces energy. That's where all this fire energy is going to be focused
Yeah.
through this water filter of Cancer and Pisces.
You know what I can see with this is just being in America and seeing all of the discord. I see this as the start of um, communities getting together and getting engaged and taking action
Mm.
to, fight against all of the shit. Not getting political, but I can
Everyone?
all of the, yep. And the fight against the dark side, right? We're getting it with the
Mm,
Jedi Force here, but it feels
mm.
like people gathering together, very Piscean energy to care about each other, right? And Mars and Cancer, we want to nourish and nurture each other and take action on helping the people who are getting their, support taken away and their funding taken away and their, you know, rights taken away. It feels like this is
Yeah.
time to gather together and start to build something that will really help humanity.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Take
I
action,
love this
guys.
energy.
Reach out to your fellow people that are taking action, join groups. Pisces is so like really compassionate for everybody, right? Very Jesus, Mother Teresa, Gandhi energy. Like we're all one species on this planet and we all
Yeah.
have to help each other. So that's what that shrine feels like to me.
Yeah. So then we have a bit of a break. This
We
is
do.
several days. I feel like I haven't seen a break this long in a while.
It's
So
been a
between the
while.
7th and the 12th, there's no exact transits. But on the 12th, the Sun in Pisces will be conjunct to Saturn in Pisces.
Mm. So this is
This
a
is
this
I
is a
feel it in my stomach.
Wednesday. This is a
Yeah.
Wednesday. This is the middle of the week and it's not a bad transit, right? It's not a bad one. It can feel restrictive. Is that how you
Hmm.
would the word you would use with that?
I I feel I don't know if I would feel like the thing is because it's a conjunction, so these two planets will really mix their energies.
Mhm.
It's not like an easy flowy transit like a trine, but it's not an opposition either or a
Right.
square. So this is like a blend. And how does the sun vitality and willpower go together with Saturn, the one who wants to teach us, life lessons and wants us to grow up? Like I think that I see them like this is like a holding hand with each other kind of energy. And I mean, sometimes that doesn't work out either because you're so
Right.
different to each other. But both are these. So this is in Pisces, and I see this as yeah, it can definitely be a day where uncomfortable things can happen because Saturn is there and the big sun is shining all of its light on Saturn, like
Yeah.
lighting it up.
Yeah.
But but I see this as like these lessons popping up will be a little bit easier for you to work through on this day because the sun is there and because it's in Pisces.
Mhm. And he's
So
mature. He you
yeah,
can he can
yeah,
handle things. He can handle the weight of things. He can look at things with discernment and judgment and be practical about it.
yeah.
So I do like this, but it can feel a little restrictive too. I feel like Saturn is, he's like the police car that pulls out behind you. You're not doing
Mm,
anything wrong, but you sure feel suddenly restricted. And you
yeah,
you make sure you have your hands on the steering wheel, your seatbelt's on, your phone's turned up, right? Like you focus
yeah,
whether he's after you or not. He's not, but he just happens to be behind you. It
yeah,
feels like restriction, right? So it's
yeah.
it's gonna be like more like
Makes you sit up straighter.
yes, like kind of get rid of the distractions and focus on the
Mm,
task at hand and really
mm,
be mature about whatever it is that you're putting your life force into, whatever it is that you're manifesting with Sun and Pisces. Saturn wants you to like focus on that. Do the
mm,
work. Be mature, get the job done so that you can manifest and move forward. Gonna be an
mm,
interesting day, March 12th. I'm gonna put that one on the
mm.
calendar for sure. All right. So the 13th is an interesting day. We have the start of eclipse
This
season.
is when everything is starting to go.
Yep.
This
Yep.
is when this month takes a turn.
Yep.
No,
Yep. We get that
gets
mature hit with
active.
Saturn, and
Yeah.
then we need him because suddenly so
Yeah, eclipse season. I mean, eclipse season starts a bit before the first eclipse. So definitely 2 weeks before you're gonna start feeling if you're very tuned in with like energies, you're gonna feel it even a little bit before that, but you'll definitely feel it 2 weeks ahead of time. But March 13th is the day when the lunar eclipse in Virgo will
happen. Yeah.
shine its not shine its light on us, you know?
Sort of, not sort of. Yes. So it's a full
Yeah.
moon in Virgo and then the lunar eclipse. So this is every time we think about Virgo, we need to think about kind of the critic or the analyzer or the focused, disciplined one with the details, right? The very informational, detailed person or energy. So this will be a time where we might get really judgmental of our own emotions that show up. We might end up having some inner shame that we have to release around emotions and not judge the shame, not judge the emotions. It's Virgo on the unhealthy level, I feel like tends to be really, really self critical, not necessarily towards others, but it tends to be reflected inside. So this is a great full moon to really release that self criticism. Go.
Yeah, I mean, things are gonna be released this day, but because eclipses don't work exactly the same as just regular full moons.
No,
This is
they're like supercharged.
very, yeah, very, very charged, and also with an energy that is not as focused as a regular full moon. Like on a regular full moon, we would say, do this and that, la la la. But on an eclipse, you don't really know where the energy is going. That's why a lot of people are saying don't manifest, don't do rituals like proper rituals unless like like small rituals if it's part of your everyday routine, sure, do them, but like don't do any massive witchcraft that you haven't done before on this day because you don't know where the energy is gonna go in which direction. I always see it as, putting firework in a dumpster and like putting on the lid and then you open it and you don't know if it's going to shoot you in the face or not, you know?
It's like making popcorn. You take the lid off the popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a
That's
lot like it's all over the place. And I think that this is going to be a very emotional day. So just keep that in mind. And because I feel like that really helps meeting people if you're a person who needs to meet people on this day, knowing that everyone is experiencing this lunar eclipse and you might be feeling a lot. I mean, everyone else is also feeling a lot. So if you
right.
bump into someone who yells at you for no reason, maybe
Deep,
don't take it
yeah,
personal.
deep breath in and release. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
And because that lunar eclipse, essentially the energy, the light of the full moon, the energy is essentially blocked, right? It's diffused by that eclipse energy. So it's like putting a cardboard in front of a flashlight. The energy of the flashlight, you can still kind of see it sort of reflected off to the sides, but it's not coming directly at the thing you're shining the flashlight at. So it is dispersed in a different way. The energy is reflected in a different way. So that's why it's a different kind of full moon energy. But yeah, I love that advice of like, don't take people personally. It's not you. It's not you.
Yeah.
This is a Thursday. You'll probably feel this energy Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I wouldn't doubt that if you would have kind of that full
Yeah,
moon lunar
for sure.
eclipse energy all three of those days.
Yeah, yeah. So, and this energy of the eclipse, yes, like I said, it will start 2 weeks before, and it will last until 2 weeks after the solar eclipse. So it lasts a month, pretty much.
Yeah.
The eclipse energy. So it's almost like going into like, you're going into this other world of like, okay, we're gonna enter this dimension now, like when you go into eclipse season. Because it's also it has to do with the lunar node, so it's a very fated sort of energy as well. A lot of things happen during this time that is big pawns in history, and you might not see it, you know, you might not see the effect right away, but you're going to be seeing it playing out in the coming 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Virgo
it.
is also very health related.
Mm-hmm.
Did we say that?
No, I don't think we did. But I was going to say, I
Uh,
think one of the things we're going to be focusing on in general is focusing on our own health, spiritual,
yeah.
mental, emotional, physical, right? How can we hold strong to our mental and emotional health during a time of trial and tribulation and upheaval and
Mm.
revolution and continue to spread love. That's really the question. How can we keep ourselves healthy while everything's being shaken up, and just offer love? That's what we got to focus on. And it's going to be a little interesting because in the next day, March 14th, is a Mercury retrograde. So, okay, guys, Aries is being shaken up. Our mind is being shaken up. Our value system being shaken up. There's a lot going on here, and all happening with the eclipse energy too. So,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah, I feel like there could be a lot of like confusion around these dates of the lunar eclipse and the beginning of Mercury retrograde because a Mercury retrograde you also start feeling a couple of days before the retro shade it's called and with so many emotions around the eclipse and this happening at the same time, I feel like there might be a lot of maybe people saying something, but it's not really what they mean,
right.
And like things like conversations are happening over there, but this is not even what anyone's talking about. And it's a good time to try and just really center yourself. Ask yourself maybe around these days, like, oh, is this like heavy conversation I'm having with my partner? Is this even something that's real or that is this even like are we talking about the right
Same,
things
yeah, the
here?
same thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, this can be a good time to reevaluate your the way you've been thinking. I think Aries is great at changing their mind. Really great energy at shifting. And if you thought one way, now we can take a look and go, "Oh wow, maybe it's not actually that way. Maybe it is something different." I see this happening a lot in America, specifically with Robert Kennedy Jr. going through all of the health things, the FDA, the CDC, all of these. He's going through and cleaning out house and really evaluating all of the like the food dyes, the Monsanto and all the glyphosate and the poisons and pesticides we use. He's going through all of that. So I think this is a great energy for people to really get new information and make a shift in the way they think.
Mm.
You can use a Mercury retrograde and Aries to change and be more flexible, and maybe burn the way you used to think. That's what Aries is good at, and embrace a new way of thinking. This is I would say a positive way of using this energy.
Mm. Nice. And then you have a Venus retrograde on top of that, which is reevaluating your value. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Nice.
And shifting your relationship with your values, and maybe like you said with Virgo with the health, valuing your health a little bit differently, the way you eat, and feed yourself information or feed yourself food. So lots of different ways to shift and change this month with what you thought you knew, and what you thought you valued, and how you thought you were going to bring in money, and all of these changes happening. And it really fits the energy of what the our country specifically in the world is going through. So
Mm.
all right,
Yeah.
then we have March 14th. We also have the sun is going to have a sextile to Uranus and Taurus. So the same day Mercury is going retrograde, the sun's going to be talking to the planet
Mm.
of rebelliousness and authenticity and demanding revolution and change. So this will be an interesting day as well. Some unexpected things might show up that day, maybe
Yeah.
some
Always
opportunities.
unexpected with Uranus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this is a
Mm.
great day to really be, because of the sextile, which I think is such an easy energy. It's like super super easy. You don't even recognize it's there. This is an energy you could let pass by and not even notice it. So March
Yeah.
14th, take note that you could really take action and have something new show up for you that day and have that opportunity. So don't miss out if something presents itself that day.
Yeah, and Uranus has been in Taurus for a long, long time, and I think we even have a whole episode on that. But a little bit of what Uranus and Taurus has been shaking up is our food system, how we grow our food, where we get our food from, um, And I'm sort of hoping that this is like good, good news.
I hope
Sun
so
in
too.
Pisces, I feel like it's a very, it's a very collective. It's the vitality of the sun, but also the collectivity of Pisces. So who knows? Maybe there's like some great news in the future about um our food system becoming more for the people,
Yeah. Or even
like
like,
finding better ways to eat real good food.
yep, I could see things like even like the farmland that we have a lot of American farmland is owned by Bill Gates, and I don't know why, but like there's like maybe like looking into things like that and exploring like giving farmland back and helping farmers. I think I just read an article. I think I posted it on our Aquarian Acres page. Something like 14 or 24,000 farms, small and family farms, closed in the year and shut down in the year 2024. Like that's
Hmm.
insane. That there's so many farms closing and not enough people getting into it because of no capital, no money to be able to get into it. There's no help with that. So this could be something where maybe there's a program created to help with that or help, getting started with that. So
Hmm.
we can hope.
One can only hope. Yeah.
All right.
What's next?
So March 19th has two things going on. So Juno is an asteroid we don't talk much about, but she's moving retrograde in Sagittarius. She has a lot to do with our bonds, our ties, our friends, like our close besties or our spouse or like somebody really, 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 really close to us. So this is starting to go backwards in Sagittarius. Again, another retrograde to help you look at things differently, get a second opinion, a different perspective. And Sagittarius is exploring things, learning in a higher way, in a new way, maybe some traveling in a new way, maybe looking back at pictures that you've traveled to before or places you've traveled to before. So, and then
Hmm.
March 19th, also the sun is going to be conjunct to Neptune. So, this is again happening in Pisces. Ah, so dreamy. Tap into your emotions,
Oh my goodness.
into
Yeah.
your feelings, into your flow. This is a day if you are any sort of intuitive, any sort of, um, you know, learning how to tap into your intuition, learning how to listen to spirit or God or source. This is a day where the phone lines are open.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
open and ready for business. This is a
Pick
great
up
day
the
to,
phone.
yep, this is a great day. Talk to your spirit guides, talk to your loved ones, ask them for guidance, help, whatever it is, and listen for the response. Wait for the response. This is a great day to get responses, to feel
Mm.
the answer, to feel the flow of which direction you should go. Oh, I love this
Yeah.
one.
I was feeling very Pisces energy today. I was at work and we have this beautiful lemon tree there. And usually there's a person who goes around and takes care of these plants and waters them. But today I had to. And I was like, oh, I wonder how much this lemon tree wants to be watered. And I was like, why don't I just ask? So it's asked in my mind, how much water would you like?
I love
And,
that.
and it went, oh, not so much. So I poured a little, is that enough? Yeah, that's fine.
That's
And
awesome.
you know what? I don't know where that comes from. It's if it's from my head or not, but I don't really care. Like that was a lovely conversation with the lemon tree.
That's so fun. That makes my heart so
Yeah.
happy that you're talking to lemon trees.
Mm.
I love that. That's such
Yeah.
a that's such a great
Very
description of
Pisces.
what this energy can bring for sure. Yeah. And it's also
Yeah.
the last day of the sun in Pisces. So this is a real
Oh.
auspicious placement. It's the 29th degree of Pisces. So
Hmm.
Neptune, you guys, Neptune is moving out of Pisces. He's going to do a little dance retrograde back and forth and stuff, but he's starting to
All right.
step out of Pisces. And this is the last time in our life that the planet of intuition and spirituality and art and flow and realms of dreams is in the sign that it rules and it feels comfortable in. So we got to really utilize these last couple weeks of this energy. And especially with the sun and Neptune together, this is it. This is the
Yeah.
last shebang with your intuition flow artistry really lit up at this 29th degree. So
Mm.
I'm kind of sad about it. I'm not gonna lie. It
No, I am too. I am too. Ugh. I've felt really good about living during a time when Neptune is in Pisces. Um, I'm not done.
no.
But I feel like I might want to do a little celebration.
And maybe we feel sad just because it's Neptune and it's Pisces. Maybe that's we're just feel we're just in our feelings.
Yeah, feeling exactly. We're feeling so much about it. But also another thing that is not so dreamy is that when the Sun and Neptune are conjunct, um, it might also be a time when you need to look after your vitality a little bit more because
For
Neptune can
sure.
be a little bit of like poking needles in a water balloon, and the water balloon being like your vitality. It might be easy. You might easier catch a flu or get
Yes.
tired or feel drained, like you feel drained pretty much.
Leaking
So
energy. Yeah.
yeah, so take extra care this day to, I don't know, wash your hands if you meet a lot of people or rest.
Take some supplements to support your body.
Yeah.
Maybe even this day would be a great day, March 19th, to take a bath, do a foot detox or a foot soak, right? Even just soaking your feet in water
Yes,
makes a
get in water.
huge difference. Even if you can't take a bath, fill up a bucket, put some Epsom salt in there, hot water, and soak your feet. It changes your whole mood when you soak your feet. It's kind of unbelievable. So, this is
Mm.
a great day to get in water, a lovely bath. Maybe you could even schedule a spa day for yourself if that's something you
Yeah.
haven't done in a while and you're like, I really need to do something for myself. March 19th, try and get in for a spa day. Ooh, that
Yeah.
would be perfect.
Yeah. I'm
And
thinking I'm gonna do a cold plunge and sauna on this day.
ooh, you have fun with that.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Then the next day we move into the astrological new year. Woohoo! March 20th.
Yeah, spring equinox, sun enters Aries, astrological new year. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the real new year. Like I remember us talking about January not so long ago and say, oh, it's a new year, sort of.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not really the energy of like new, you know?
Right.
Here's energy of new because when the sun goes into Aries, then it's definitely like now it's go time, starting all the projects, like feel like it's a very enthusiastic feeling also when the sun goes into Aries, especially in the northern hemisphere, like we get spring and
Yes.
everything literally comes alive around us in nature. Like things pop out of the ground, like new things every day. You just look around and like, where are all these things coming from? And nature sort of comes alive and lots of like suddenly there's colors around you, you
There's
know?
bugs, there's activity, there's new buzzing. There's just a new buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, all these animals. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this day of the week is a Thursday. So I'm excited for this because I'm going to do a little plug here. I've been putting together the Journey to the Soul program, and this is when we're launching it. And we have several women who have said yes already. So I'm really, really excited. And it's going to be a 12-month program. So we're going to be starting this equinox and going all the way till the next equinox of next year and doing this personal development, deep intuitive dive into yourself and learning how to listen to your vitality and intuition. Very Piscean, right? Learn how to
Mm,
really tap into that and then find where you've done that in your past. Like find a story where you have listened to your intuition and maybe your head was like, this is dumb or this is weird, why am I following this seems strange, but then writing the story about how that worked out for the best and how it ended up transforming your life, and that's the
mm.
story that we're going to be then writing about and then publishing together in this book. So it's this deep personal dive transformation intuitive development program along with a writing program and then a book publishing program, and I'm so excited about it because it feels very Pisces and Aries, which is
Yeah.
that's my 10th and 11th house, and that's what I'm here to do. And with my mind in Pisces and my sun in Aries, it's literally me.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to lead these women and do this with these other three women I'm doing it with. And oh my gosh, I just can't even like tell you how how much this has been an intuitive gift for me to listen to what spirit wanted me to do and then slowly just let it unfold and slowly just take action when the time was right. And then it just developed. It's been the most flowy, easy business I've ever created in my life. It's so feminine, and we're launching it the spring equinox. It just all feels very like divine and in flow and amazing. So I'm excited for the spring equinox for so many reasons. But if this is interesting for you, if you're wanting to, join us and do this program, reach out. I'll put the links in the show notes. But we're still accepting people. So I'm super excited.
Nice.
Big
And I love
stuff
that
happening.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is the energy of Aries. And it's like, it's also when all the animals fornicate to make babies. And it's that just like, oh, hello, what's out there? Who are you? Let's do
Yep.
something fun. Like let's get together.
Yeah.
It's really that people are excited. And if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and in Sweden, we have this saying, well, not saying, but we call it, you get spring feelings. And it's basically like feeling randy,
Okay.
like, but also like for life,
Yeah.
not just for like another person.
Okay.
But that's what Aries is like. Like Aries is passionate and it's like, I'm randy for life.
Yes. Yeah. Here to live and experience. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great. Oh, it's my favorite time of year for sure.
Cannot wait.
Yeah. So that's the 20th of March. Then we move into the 21st. We did a whole episode on Vesta in December. If you want to go check out that episode. But Vesta is going to go retrograde and she's in Scorpio. So we might have some struggles with our boundaries. She definitely represents those boundaries to our commitments and things. So with her going retrograde, we may have some issues with that and struggle to
Interesting.
to work through those healthy boundaries that we need to set. So kind of just be aware again with Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Juno retrograde, Vesta retrograde. There's a lot of feminine energy going retrograde. Plus, we had the lunar eclipse. So a lot of our feelings, our feminine everything is going to be really, we're going to question it. We're going to feel
Mhm.
a little insecure around this. So just take note that we might need to take some time and say, I need to see if I can do this. I need to check my calendar. Again, don't say yes to commitments.
Yeah.
Thank them for asking and you'll get back to them. Another time for you to practice. So that same day, Venus is going to be in Aries and she'll have a little sextile over there to Pluto in Aquarius. We haven't mentioned Pluto at all this month.
No, Pluto's been quiet. Very quiet. Sitting there pretending not to
He's
just
plotting
like
some,
fly in the wall. Exactly.
he's plotting
Exactly.
something.
Yeah, plotting something. But with Venus and Aries sextile to Pluto and Aquarius, I mean, that I'm excited about. Like, yeah, now you have Venus moving backwards, but still Venus in Aries being sextile to Pluto, the game changer, the transformer, the energy that wants you to like, it's not scared to make you look at really dark stuff, to make you see something and change it to make it really, really amazing instead,
Yeah.
you know? And yeah, I see a lot of good things here. Like it's also Aquarius is involved, Aries is involved. Like this could definitely be something about you see something new about your relationship that hasn't been working. And
Yeah.
then you make just a small adjustment because you see it. And
And you
bada
fix it.
bing, bada boom.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
exactly how I was seeing this. I was like, I see this as like adjustment within relationships. This is very
yeah,
much Venus going retrograde. We get to adjust the way we spend money, the way we make money, the way we do relationship, the way we value. It's very like, oh, let's just make this shift. And again, with
yeah,
Aries and Aquarius, it's not hard to adjust. It's quite simple.
yeah,
You
yeah.
just change. You just do it.
Now.
What's the question?
Yes, yes,
Much to
yes.
my husband's dismay.
Yeah. Mr.
So that is
Capricorn.
going to be something to pay attention to because again, we've been talking a lot about relationships this month with all of the things going retrograde, this is a time where we can utilize that retrograde to make that positive shift within those relationships. So the 21st, take note of that. What day of the week is that? That's a Friday. Friday. All right. Then we move on to March 22nd, and it's really like every day now for the rest of the month. It's bing bang boom, really.
Busy. Yeah, packed.
Yeah.
So on the 22nd, we have Sun being in Aries, now conjunct to retrograding Venus in Aries.
Yeah.
So the day before Venus was sextile to Pluto. Hopefully you like mentioning maybe in a relationship about your boundaries and like, hey, actually, I reevaluated how we do this and I have these boundaries.
Yeah.
And now things are working perfectly. And then the day after, the sun is coming and shining its big light on Venus in Aries, still going retrograde, and making you see something even more like this is gonna help you, I think, to see even deeper into see something even clearer
Yeah.
about something about your values, how you've been valuing yourself perhaps, or valuing something else, or how you handle your money.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be shown.
Finding some kind of peace or some kind of harmony, like the warmth of the sun really, really lighting up and helping you to see without apathy, right? Apathy is like pretending you don't la 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 la, covering your eyes and your ears and pretending you don't see it. With this energy, I feel like we can really take a good look at it without feeling bad, without judgment, without shame, and just find a healthy way to do it. Find happiness, really.
Mm.
That's what that feels like for me. I love when the sun and Venus are conjunct, even if one of them's in retrograde, right? If Venus is retrograde. And then Aries is finding joy, playfulness.
Yeah, playfulness.
What's fun, right? Where can we find pleasure and fun? That's the
Mm.
22nd. And then the 23rd, as the sun treks forward, then the sun's going to have a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. So it's the first Venus, then the sun and Venus come together. Then Venus moves on the other way. The sun moves forward and they kiss and move on. And now the sun and Pluto are chatting. So this is where we have power with our vitality and our willpower. So this is personal power. And it very much is taking
Yes.
action. This is action. So March 23rd, which is a Sunday. This Sunday, you can take action. The 2nd of March, no, don't do that. But the 23rd, yes. And that for
Yeah.
me, even when I just look at my calendar and I'm planning out like projects on the farm or whatever, now I know that on the 2nd, we can plan out the project. You know, the 7th, maybe we can go get our supplies and we can start taking action. And maybe the 23rd is when we can really do something. We can really make that transformation and build the thing we wanted to build or the shed or whatever. Right. So that's kind of how I use these transits, and the way I kind of plan out my life is try to work within these energies. So I'm not trying to beat my head against a fence, trying to make it happen when it's energetically not working.
Mm. Yeah,
That makes sense.
it does. It does. Yeah, I love this Sun and Pluto in a sextile, and like Aries and Aquarius again. This is really, yeah, change making
Mm-hmm.
energy. And the Sun and Pluto together, it becomes so powerful. Yeah. So with this sextile happening, I don't know, I feel like anything's possible, you
For
know?
real.
Yeah.
Well, with the incredible drive that Aries has to just launch something, and the bravery that it has, combined with the power and intensity of Pluto, with the future energy and the radical energy of Aquarius. I mean, this is like my favorite because with my sun in Aries and my Venus in Aquarius, this is me. I just do shit.
Yeah.
I just do it. It's fun. I enjoy it. Let's just do it. So if that's not something you're used to and is not programmed in your birth chart like mine, you can really use this to kind of light you up in a new way that you're not normally lit up natally. So that's what I love
Yeah.
about transits. All right, then we have the next day, March 24th. This is a Monday. And the sun in Aries is conjunct Mercury in Aries, which is going backwards. So it's like the sun's going forward and is meeting all these guys and give them a hug and kiss as they go backwards.
Yeah.
So we have some intensity with our mind this day and our thoughts being lit up. And maybe we have really big ideas that we want to put out there. Maybe we want to take action and announce something, right? Announce a program or announce a new something, a new position or a new whatever. It's new, something Aries new. So this is a great day to take action, maybe schedule your campaign or schedule your launch for whatever on March 24th. And it's a Monday, so it's a great day to do that.
Mm.
This is
And I always find it interesting with um transits to Mercury when Mercury is going backwards, because then you add the layer, like you have all of these things that you just talked about, but also the theme is that whatever you're going to be putting out, it might be in an idea that you have been re-evaluating because Mercury is going backwards. Maybe you're going
yes.
back to an old idea that was actually a better version of something, or like you find something in the archive, or like
Yep.
you like, oh, maybe I wasn't doing it the right way. I'm going to do it this way.
Or you've readjusted an idea that you already launched and you're like, that didn't quite, let's pull that back and figure that out. For my just my own personal life, I'm thinking of like we're converting our barn into our home, and my husband and I have the plans and the blueprints, and we keep taking them out and looking at them and like reevaluating and readjusting, and we're getting ready to start taking action and starting to put up some walls and build some stuff. And I feel like this is a time and an energy we would use to again reevaluate the plans and reevaluate what we were doing before we take action and before we launch that. So yeah, it is that retrograde time to just think a little extra before taking action.
Hmm. Yeah. The day after that, we have another Mercury transit. And now, because Mercury is going backwards, Sun's going forward, now Mercury in Aries is having a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. Interesting. So
It's like a
something
lot
that
of boom boom
you,
boom boom, the planets just kind of bumping
yeah,
into each
yeah,
other over here.
crisscrossing. So this could be something that has come back to you in your mind, something that you've been pondering over, or something that you have to reevaluate, now gets this little poof of power from Pluto in Aquarius who wants to make a change.
Yeah, yeah. And
Also
also
quite
with
nice.
getting ideas from the collective or from our friends or from online, or anytime I think of Aquarius, I'm thinking of technology or our community, or the people out there, right? So Mercury and Aries, gaining new ideas through maybe like world talk or Euro talk, or there's so many different ways to connect to different cultures and different ideas. So this is a great day to support your brain with learning new things and taking in new concepts through different means and new ways of doing it that you haven't yet explored. And then when
Yeah.
we have that, we have 1 day break. So everybody take a breath on the 26th. It's a Wednesday. Breathe. That was a lot.
Quick in and out.
And then the next day, the Thursday, the 27th, our lovely Venus friend enters her way back into Pisces. So she's going to move back into the waters. She's done sunning herself on the beach in the heat, and now she's going to go back into the watery mist, and she's going to take a moment to just be in the intuition again and be in the flow again. So just take note that our value system is gonna, and our money system and our relationships are, we got some things to think about when it comes to being a little bit more compassionate, a little bit more
Mm.
focused on the collective as a whole. So
Yeah. And actually on the same day, so Venus is going back into Pisces and then standing together with Neptune because Neptune is on the last degree of Pisces. So Venus will be conjunct Neptune also this day. So this is very much, yeah, feel like, yeah, your value system is like, oh, hang on. It's not just me. It's, yeah, the whole world, or like
we
this
all
whole
feel this.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all feel this. And you feel a lot. Maybe I mean, not maybe. This is a great time to tap into that and like, okay, what can I do? Like, what is good for me that is also good for the collective?
Mm-hmm.
Because what's good for you is good for the collective, and what's good for the collective is good for you,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. Yes, for sure. And I think that's really something we have to remember is we are all a cell on this planet, and this Mother Earth, we are part of her, right? And we all feel the vibrations and feel the energy. So this is kind of a reminder of that.
Yeah.
All right, then we have my most favorite day of the year. We get a break on the 28th and then a big old wapatuli on the 29th, which is my 43rd birthday. This is my celebration of my 43rd turn around the sun. And on
On a
that day, we
solar
have,
eclipse.
yes, we have a solar eclipse that day. So a new moon in Aries, solar eclipse. And this is going to be some significant change we have to work through, and some intense shakeups. And I'm sort of
This
looking
feels
forward to this
big.
birthday and sort of not.
I totally understand you. I mean, I think this is going to be a big day.
It is.
I'm pretty sure for you, because this is a solar eclipse, new moon in Aries. So it's not, I mean, it's not only a solar eclipse, it's also a new moon in Aries, and which is a lot of energy as well, a lot of like forward movement, and then adding this eclipse energy of like it being a supercharged new moon, and it you're not really quite sure where the energy is going. So it's I sort of see this as like a small bubbly child who's like, oh, I'm about to burst, I don't know where to go. And that can go all types of ways.
Exactly. Yes. And yes. It's going to be
Yeah.
a really, I've looked at my solar return chart for a while now. I've been looking at it. I feel the energy shifting big time. And I'm like, oh, like I want to try to anticipate it. And I don't feel like I even can, because it's so many planets. When you look at the transits for the end of March, if you have a birthday, the end of March, early April, you guys, we should have like a collective support group, because this is no joke this year. Like our solar return charts are no joke. And at the same time, with all of this happening, I know we don't mention Chiron, but Mars is having a square to Chiron this exact day as well. So we have a 22 degrees square between Mars and 22 degrees Chiron. So I've already
Mm.
looked at that one going, oh geez. So it's again with a boundary thing, with taking action and feeling insecure around taking that action, because there's that tension and that that self-esteem wound that gets activated with Chiron, who's in Aries. So we have a lot
Yeah.
of planets right in the beginning of Aries, a lot of planets right at the end of Pisces, and they're all just sardined right there. It's a
Yeah.
whole bunch. And of course, Saturn is still in Pisces. He's a little bit behind, but he's still there. So there's a lot of Pisces, 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 Aries, 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 all like, and I'm not sure I'm excited about it. I'm not
Well,
sure.
those are two fun energies to put together.
It's really interesting chart to see. We'll have to look at mine in the next podcast or
Yeah.
something. It's all pointing at, like, it's like an arrow, and they're all pointing, and it's all for me happening in my sixth house of daily routines, how I am of service, and dealing with my health. So yep, I'm working on finding ways to implement yoga and swimming, and just really get a solid foundation of health outlets that's also flexible and changeable with the Pisces Aries energy.
Mhm.
So it's going to be an interesting one, you guys. This is no joke. The end of March. This is really, I'm
Mm.
just going to
Did
leave
you
it
go
alone.
swimming today yet?
It's this afternoon. Yeah, we're going swimming this
Oh,
afternoon.
okay.
So just
Nice.
working on things
Nice.
like that, right? Taking action with Aries on being more in tune and flexible and flowy with Pisces. So I'm trying to implement just little daily things like that. And we could all
Yeah.
do that, implement that into our world in any way would be beneficial.
Yeah.
So that same
So,
day, Mercury is actually going to be conjunct in with Neptune in Pisces. So
oh,
Mercury goes
right.
retrograde in Pisces, then like Neptune's right there. So we have that solar eclipse with the new moon in Aries, and then we have Mercury and Neptune hitting each other at the door at the entrance from Pisces to Aries. So it's a really
Mm.
it's kind of just a clusterfuck
Whoa.
right there. It's a lot.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I feel like this can definitely be, I mean, especially for you because you have downloads and you um
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what's this called? You
Spiritual woo
yeah,
woo stuff.
yeah, spirits talk through you. So I feel like with the solar eclipse, new moon here, like because this is your birthday, and then Mercury retrograde back into Pisces being conjunct to Neptune on the last critical degree.
Yep.
I mean, I for sure think that you're gonna get some big messages.
It feels like it's a year of like I'm already tuned in and I'm already opened up, but it feels like I'm going to be like hyper tuning in, like it's going to be
Yeah.
leveling up or I don't know which language to use, but it feels like my mediumship abilities are going to be taken a couple notches up. It really does.
Mhm.
It's
And you know what? Saying this to everyone, like this could also be a time when you feel quite anxious.
mm-hmm.
Everyone could
Yeah,
feel quite anxious because Neptune can create anxiety. And having Mercury conjunct to Neptune, the way you think connected to this, it can take you to amazing dreamy places. It can also make you anxious
it can take
because
you to dark
anxiety,
places too. Yeah,
yeah,
but
anxiety is not anything like connected to this world, and Pisces is not, and Neptune is not. And then this being a Mercury retrograde, maybe it could be a trigger from the past, and it could make you feel very anxious. And that could be the harder side of it, but the
yeah,
other side of it is probably that trigger is gonna it's a portal also. It's a trigger and it's a portal, so it's gonna make you see something from the past and maybe learn something from that and get like an intuitive hit of like, or that is the intuitive hit pretty much, the anxiety.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just that we have a hard time dealing with it, pretty
I love
much.
that you brought that up. I think it's so important to bring up angsty feelings, anxiety, whatever, however you want to describe it. It's something that everybody has to deal with internally on their own, right? There's nothing outside of you that's going to solve the problem. And it's really a matter of finding an outlet to be able to activate and release, whether that's doing art, some people it's doing exercise, some people it's sitting and meditating. Finding the outlet for getting your brain and your mind and your heart all connected instead of your mind on a hamster wheel thinking about too many things. And the other day my daughter, who's got like 60% air signs. She's just turned 4. She was really struggling with her emotions and having a big emotions, and her ear was hurting. She had an ear infection and her ear was hurting. So I had her in the shower with me, and she's on my shoulder and I'm just rocking back and forth, and she was crying pretty hard, and she started to spiral down a thought process that didn't make any sense, and she was totally experiencing anxiety in my arms and started crying about how much it would hurt if she was running and she fell and she hit her head and her head broke open and her head was bleeding, and like she just went on this like
Hmm.
imaginary trip. And I had to pull her way back and be like, honey, you are in the shower, the water is on your back, breathing, your head is on mama's shoulder. And I had to like really
Hmm.
recenter her as to where she was and that she wasn't running and tripping and falling and smacking her head open. But
Oh,
that's what anxiety looks like. That's what happens
yeah.
is we create these imaginary scenarios. We create worry about things that might happen, have yet to happen, possibly could happen, maybe will never happen. And then we take that in our body and we start to manifest that as true. And it
Hmm.
creates all kinds of discombobulation when in fact you have to bring yourself to the present and go, wow, I'm sitting in this chair. I'm in my bedroom. I'm safe. I'm drinking water, right? I have heat. I have a roof over my head. It focusing and
Yes.
centering is so crucial, and it's a skill I don't think anyone really gets taught in school or anything. That's not anything I was taught. How about you in
Hmm.
Sweden? Did they teach that?
No.
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 No. So the end of March, really from like kind of Aries season on, we got to focus on that. We really have to
Mm.
focus on recognizing where our brain is spinning off to and what kind of wheel we're on, and bringing ourselves back into our body, whether that's through dance or yoga or painting or going for a walk in nature. I don't care. But be careful not to check out too much, right? Doom scrolling, right? Get off the news. Don't go into TikTok and watch all the stupid things that the government's doing. Don't do that. Just
Mm.
get yourself focused on things that bring you joy, bring you pleasure, have a creative flow. If you don't have an art hobby by now, go find one. Go get yourself some yarn and a crochet hook. I don't care, but have something creative as an outlet for yourself, because you're going to need one. Your body needs one, your mind needs one.
Yeah.
Humanity is creative, and we need to still create. It's very important. So, the end of March, get ready for that, because then the last day, March 30th, our planet Neptune steps foot into Aries. So we end
Yeah.
with kind of a big bang here. We end with this planet he's been in Pisces for a long time.
A long
Mm-hmm.
time.
I'm gonna find it.
How many years does it take Neptune to go around the zodiac? Is 160 years? 190 years? It's 100 and a lot of years,
So
right?
Pisces Neptune has been in our realm since 2011. So
That's a lifetime.
2011. And that's when now he'll step into Aries, he'll go back into Pisces, then he'll go back into Aries, and stay in Aries next year. So
Hmm.
he's going to spend about 14 years there. He takes 160 years
160.
to go around
Yeah,
the zodiac. So
that's a
big
long time.
changes coming here.
Yeah, I
Overall,
feel like I don't have too much to say about Neptune in entering Aries. I don't know, like it's almost like I don't want to, like I don't even want to like speculate of what could happen, you know?
I think it's almost impossible to speculate what. I mean, like we certainly can kind of read the weather of it, but
Mm.
I don't know. The last time Neptune was in Aries was the US Civil War, so I'm not sure what to think about that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a funny one because Neptune is this dream world. It could be illusions, and then Aries is very much different. It's very much in the body. It's very much in this world and wanting to move forward. So I don't know, like the start of lots of new religions. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so the last time, for any history buffs out there, the last time Neptune was in Aries was 1861 to 1875. So that
Hmm.
was a while ago. There's a lot of changes during that time. So go look up the history of what happened in 1861 to 1875, and maybe that'll give us a little bit of a flavor, a little bit of taste. But
Yeah,
it's different because Pluto's in Aquarius now, and Pluto wasn't in Aquarius during that time. And Uranus will be moving into
right.
Gemini, and Uranus wasn't in Gemini in 1861. So there's other factors involved. So it's really hard to determine how the nebulous planet
Hmm.
will unfold in this heated sign, because there's so many other players in different positions.
I feel like a deep down, a deep dive into this event is is needed. I would like to do it. I think that you would like to do it.
Yeah,
And
we got to
maybe
do one.
if you, yeah, you guys listening, if you would like us to do it, maybe you can tell us so we can get our, we can get around to actually doing it. Because otherwise we might be like, oh, maybe we'll talk about something else, you know?
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to talk about. And I also just want to add something about this whole 29th of March with the solar eclipse, Mercury retrograde entering, Pisces, conjunct Neptune. The sun is in Aries. You know, if you're experiencing anxiety, a great way to get rid of it could be to do something like shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Something very, in your body.
Yep.
Like you just start shaking your body, and all of a sudden you're here. Like do what dogs do. That's what dogs do to shake off bad feelings, or like
Heck yeah.
they just shake it off. So take like a minute to shake.
You know how many people
Shake.
I give this prescription to so many people.
Mm.
Astro prescription, I call it. I'm like, you need to go gyrate. You need to go like wiggle and shake and yet
Yeah.
physically like you're shaking water off of you or
Yeah.
grossness off of you. Like flick it off, kick your legs, like you know when a cat steps in water and they flick their legs real hard
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. And also really dance. If you have been wanting to do dance or take dance classes or whatever, turn on YouTube or whatever. But dancing is a phenomenal way to move your body and utilize all the Pisces energies that's still going on too, but then taking action and moving your body. Dance, and then anything that makes you laugh. Aries can be angry and fight and war. Yes, we know that. But you know what it also likes? It loves to laugh, loves to laugh and have fun. So if you haven't been to a comedy show or you haven't watched comedy, like put something on and make yourself laugh. It's a
Mm.
great way to release inner tension is a full belly laugh. So another astro prescription. Shake your boobies and laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it.
So this was a bit of a longer episode, but we knew it coming into this recording that, there's a lot of transits. We didn't really want to rush it because it's also Pisces season. So I hope that you guys have stuck around. Obviously, you guys hearing this have, and we thank you for that. And
Yes.
I would also really appreciate if you go and tell a buddy, a friend, a colleague, share it on the internet or something that we exist and
Yes.
that you think that we are cool. If you appreciate what we do and you get some kind of value of this, please share it, because that brings us a lot of joy.
It does.
Just makes us
It does.
happy.
And if you
Yeah.
want to chuck us a couple bucks, you can buy us a tea or a coffee, and that is a financial support to help with the cost of the show. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, everybody. We appreciate it, and happy March. And please let us know your feedback and what you think of this. And we appreciate you so much. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us this week. Be sure to like and support the show by sharing with a friend or joining us on Patreon. And you can buy us a tea or coffee and financially support us. Thank you so much. It's so appreciated.